Hi guys, Barbara here from Barbara Makes Crafts, and I'm so happy you're here, and I hope that you enjoy this video. I'm going to show you how to turn this ordinary Pyrex glass dish into the perfect, most perfect, inexpensive Christmas gift ever for that friend, family member, even for yourself that has everything. So stay tuned and we're going to get started. Okay, so we've got the design uploaded into our Cricut design space, and I'm just going to measure my the bottom of my dish, and I have found it to be 7 inches by 5 inches on the bottom. So I want this to fit. I want it upright, and I want it to be 5 inches. I want it to be about 3 inches long, just to give it a little more room. To add just to one width or height, just click this unlock key. You can also click this one down here on the lower left hand corner. So let's see if I can make the height a little bigger without distorting the image. Okay, so it is going to end up being a square, but that's okay. I don't mind that at all. I've got it welded together. So now we will be ready to cut. So let's move over to the Cricut machine so we can cut this out. Okay, so before we cut, make sure that the mirror is on, and all you gotta do is, when you get this mat up here, just hit it and it'll go tell you the material size, and there's mirror for iron on, but since we want to see this through a piece of glass, we need to mirror it here too. All right, so I've got my vinyl on my mat, so I'm going to just click continue, and it's going to ask me to set my material, and I am setting it. There's just one vinyl setting for regular vinyl. Now on vinyl, I do a more pressure rather than a default pressure, just because it gives a cleaner cut. So once we do that, and we get this flashing arrow light, that means it's time to load our mat into the machine. And when the C starts flashing, here we go, we'll start the cut. Alright, so now the cut is complete, and what we have is our design. So we need to start the weeding process. Okay, so the first thing that I'm going to do is I'm going to cut around where the cut is. Makes it easier to see and easier to weed. And I'm going to place it gently back on my mat when I'm done cutting for the weeding process. Just because that gives me kind of a sturdy background, and we have vinyl left over that we can use another time. All right, so the first thing I'm going to do is remove the vinyl from around the square that we cut. All right, there we go. All right, so I'm gonna pull that off. And then what I have left is just the rectangle and the pieces that need to come out. We're gonna do what's called a reverse bead. And all that is if you were making a design, I'm having a hard time seeing what I got going on here. If you were making a design and you were gonna weed something out of it, you just weed the opposite for a stencil. All right, so the first thing I'm gonna do here is get the area around my rectangle. If you're using a good blade, a fresh blade, the blades last for a really long time. I just changed one after I've had this Cricut maker for a year. And it's the first time that I've changed blades. And I'm telling you, I use it almost daily. So, anyway, if you're using a fresh blade and a good sticky mat, which this one isn't. When I had just discovered these little tweezers with the sharp edges on them, these are a game changer for weeding. I love them. And see how easy that weeded out. It only took a second or two to just get those elements out that we don't want on our stencil. The letters are going to be just a little bit tougher, but not a lot. Okay. Found a word and started peeling. All right, guys. So now that all that's out of the way, it's time for the real fun. So I'm taking some transfer tape. I'm using the Cricut transfer tape. This is actually the strong grip because honestly, I ran out of my regular grip. All right, so I'm putting it down on my dish. I've already wiped this down with alcohol, so we know it's good and clean. And then just lay this down, kind of start in the middle and move towards the edges, making sure everything is down straight. And I do like to cut excess as I go, no matter what I'm working with, just so it doesn't stick back down in places that I've lifted it from, because that can create a problem. And I'm just very carefully lifting this. So there are little bitty pieces that without them, the letters will not turn out right. Somehow I did lose that little bitty piece inside that O there, but I can just use one of my scraps and just cut out a little, as close to a circle as I can get it. And it has to be the right size, teeny tiny. Okay, so the next thing we want to do is we want to make sure that is down really good along the edges of the words and the spatulas, because you don't want it to bleed under. It's not like doing it on wood where you can do Mod Podge or some kind of sealer there to keep it from bleeding, because this etching stuff has to go directly on the glass. Okay, so I think that's good. These bubbles are fine because we're not etching that part and it's far enough away that we don't have to worry about it. So I'm using Armor Etch etching cream, and we're just going to put this on there. Oh, sorry, I let that dry out around my cap a little bit. So I like to just kind of pour it in the top. It's a really thick cream, and you don't have to use a lot of it for this to etch. And I'm just using really this is a stencil brush, I believe. I just got it cheap, probably at Walmart or the dollar store or something. So I'm just gonna sort of paint this on there, make sure it's good around all the edges. And you can do this on any type of glass and with any stencil. Last year I made little glass coasters for all my co-workers. I think they really enjoyed those. And this year I'm going to make these for the girls in my family. My husband and I have 6 kids between us. Well, we have 3 in-laws, so we have 4 girls total in the bunch. And I think they'll all appreciate this. So, all right, I think I've got it around all the nooks and crannies, and we're just gonna let this set for about 5 to 10 minutes, and I'll be back when that time is up and show you the finished project. Alright guys, it's been about 5 or maybe 10 minutes. So what we're going to do is rinse the etching cream off. We're going to rinse it completely off in cool water. Dry it really well before we take that stencil off. Alright, so we are going to remove the stencil. You don't have to be easy or gentle. You don't have to worry about tears or things coming up. You just take it off. And while I'm doing this, one thing that I forgot to mention was when you're using your etching cream, it is recommended that you wear gloves, that you're in a well-ventilated area, and also wear eye protection. I did not do that, but this etching cream can burn you if you just do it barehanded. You can already kind of see the etching on what I've taken off so far. When it's kind of wet like it is, it looks a little different. So it's going to look really nice once it's all dry. And your friends, your family will love, love, love this as a Christmas gift. The thing about the glass is using a weeding tool or sharp tweezers or something is not going to affect it, and it's also not going to affect your etching unless you dig in there really, really hard and scrape. The longer you leave the etching cream, the more it's going to etch into the glass. I wouldn't leave it more than about 15 minutes though, just because I think it's probably reached its max potential by then. I might get a pan scraper or my little straight edge that I use on the stove. Oh yeah, that works much better. Alright, I should have done that to begin with. Okay, so there you go. There's the finished product. Hold this up so you can see. I think you can see better if I'm not standing behind it, or you might be able to see with the pink of my shirt. But it says if you can read this, you're already too late. So yeah, like I said, this is the perfect gift to give at Christmas time, birthdays, weddings. Oh my goodness. There are endless possibilities. There are endless possibilities for etching glass. So just do it. That's kind of my motto. Just craft to your heart's content. All right, so that's it. Easy peasy. I know we had a little bit of vinyl issues, but like I said, easy. They're easy to fix. I love working with vinyl on my Cricut. So I hope that you will like this video, share, subscribe. Y'all, I can't tell you what that would mean to me if you would subscribe. It really, really, really does help support me, my little craft business. And share this to your Facebook page or Facebook news feed. I really do enjoy crafting, and I enjoy showing you how to do that. I will link below to all the products that I used, and you can also find those on the website at barbaramakescrafts.com on the craft supplies page. And when I write up the blog, the step-by-step instructions, they'll be in there too. So you should be able to find what you need to create this product for yourself. And I will be making more videos of Christmas gifts, Christmas decorations, Christmas projects. So just be looking for those. And until I see you again, happy crafting.